Evolution of Woody Woodpecker. Woody, a human-like woodpecker, first appears in the 1940 short movie, Knock Knock, as an angry lunatic with an unusually garish design. He was originally voiced by prolific voice actor Mel Blanc. Woody constantly bothers Andy Panda and Papa Panda just for the fun of it. Meanwhile, Andy tries to sprinkle salt on Woody's tail, thinking that this will somehow capture the bird. To Woody's surprise, Andy's attempts come to fruition, and Woody is taken away to the psychiatric hospital, but not before his captors prove to be even crazier than he is. In the 1941 short movie, Woody Woodpecker, when the inhabitants of the woods begin to spread rumors that Woody is crazy based on all of his eccentric antics, he also begins to question his sanity. He spends his day singing loudly and pecking holes in trees. He makes the other woodland creatures mad when he isn't baffling them with his bizarre behavior. Woody overhears a squirrel and a group of birds gossiping about him. Even though he just sang a song proclaiming his craziness, he denies their whispered accusations that he's nuts. But after they trick him into knocking his head on a statue, the poor bird begins to hear voices in his head and decides the animals might be right. He decides to see a doctor, which happens to be Dr. Horace N. Buggy, a Scottish brogue-burring fox who is even madder than he is. In the 1942 short movie, Ace in the Hole, Kent Rogers plays Woody. Woody's original design became a little softer, his buck teeth began to disappear, the beak and feet colors became slightly brighter and more vibrant, and his big chin is also gone. Woody Woodpecker is at a U.S. Army Air Corps military airbase and is dreaming of taking one of the aircraft up in the air. But the only thing the bulldog sergeant on the airfield feels Woody is capable of doing is clipping the horses with an electric clipper. And considering that Woody accidentally allows the clipper to clip off the Sarge's shirt buttons and a long strip of hair off his chin, he may be giving Woody too much credit. Nevertheless, Woody spends his time reading how to fly a plane from the ground up. And eventually, he sneaks onto a pew too. In the 1943 short movie, The Dizzy Acrobat, which was nominated for the 1943 Academy Award for Best Short Subject, Kent Rogers is also the voice of Woody. Woody visits a traveling circus and tries to sneak into the big top, but a caretaker kicks him out. He tells him that if he wants to see the show, he will have to give the elephant water. Woody attaches the elephant to a water spout and attempts again to enter the tent. The caretaker chases him around the circus and into the big top. He continues to try to catch Woody but finds himself caught in several circus performance contraptions, including a trapeze, a tightrope, a perch pole, a lion's cage, and a bicycle. In the 1944 short movie, The Barber of Seville, the story begins with Woody arriving at the barber shop in hopes of getting a victory haircut. Finding the owner has stepped out for a physical, Woody attempts to cut his own hair and those of other customers with laughable results. Woody is seen becoming rounder, cuter, and less crazy. He also had a simplified color scheme and a brighter smile. Here, he is voiced by Ben Hardaway. The 1944 short movie, The Beech Nut, marked the debut of Woody's recurring antagonist, Wally Walrus, until 1948. Wally decides to go to the beach to relax for his day off, but is constantly disturbed by surfer Woody. Returning to the present, Wally ties Woody to an anchor and hurls him into the ocean. However, the rope snags on the pier, demolishing first the pier and then the entire marina. In the 1944 short movie, Ski for Two, Planning a Vacation, Woody reads in the newspaper about Swiss Chard Lodge, which promises lots of good food, which, as Woody says, is his favorite dish. He goes to said lodge but, upon arriving, is told by owner Wally Walrus that he must make reservations first, which he has not. Wally throws the pest out, but Woody enters the room again, now disguised as none other than Santa Claus. He robs Wally of his food, but once alone with his sack, Woody discovers a vengeful Wally Walrus who wrings the little woodpecker's neck in disgust and mocks Woody's trademark laugh. In the 1950 Technicolor science fiction movie, Destination Moon, Woody's voice was provided by Grace Stafford. In the segment, astronauts are shown an animated educational movie featuring Woody Woodpecker explaining rocket propulsion. In the 1953 short movie, Buccaneer Woodpecker, Woody, a 17th century lamplighter, while making his rounds one night, hears that the ship of the notorious pirate Buccaneer Buzzard has been noticed in the harbor. Knowing that a large reward has been offered for the capture of the pirate, Woody sets out to capture the pirate and claim the reward. Buccaneer Buzzard has other ideas, one of which involves feeding Woody to a shark. In the 1954 short movie, Real Gone Woody, Woody Woodpecker and Buzz Buzzard fight over who will take the heartthrob Winnie Woodpecker out on a date at the high school sock hop. However, when the two begin to fight, they only find Winnie riding away with the singer from the sock hop. In the 1957 short movie, To Catch a Woodpecker, Woody Woodpecker has become an infinite source of frustration for the Miracle Telephone Co. by pecking holes in their telephone poles. After a company henchman fails to apprehend him, the company president goes after Woody himself, using a woodpecker disguise. In the 1957 animated TV show, The Woody Woodpecker Show, Walter Lantz hosts a program of theatrical cartoons, along with segments showing the workings of an animation studio and newsreel footage narrated by Woody Woodpecker, where he was no longer dishing out abuse to his foils but was instead on the receiving end. The first significant short to feature Woody as a serious straight man trying to do good was the 1961 movie, Franken-Stymied. Here, Woody escapes from the rain and lightning into the castle of a mad scientist. The scientist's latest invention, a chicken-plucking robot named Frankie, has awoken and thinks that Woody is a chicken. Woody frantically runs away and hides first in a barrel, then in a suit of armor, anything to keep his feathers. In the 1988 comedy movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Woody appears as the cameo character at the end, and he is voiced by Cherry Davis. Woody appears in the 1996 movie, Kids for Character, which uses fun-filled skits and songs to teach kids the 6 pillars of character: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. In the 1999 animated TV show, The New Woody Woodpecker Show, Woody appears, voiced by Billy West. He was redesigned to look more like his mid-1940s version, pushing back his crest and making his eyes green again. Winnie Woodpecker became a semi-regular character as Woody's main love interest. Like Woody, Winnie was redesigned to look almost exactly like Woody. Woody's primary antagonist was Wally Walrus, who became Woody's neighbor. In the live-action CGI hybrid 2017 movie, Woody Woodpecker, the hyperactive red-headed bird, is voiced by Eric Bauza. The plot follows Woody, who retaliates against a real estate lawyer after having his tree cut down to prevent an investment home from being built in place of his home. Woody appears in the 2018 animated web series of the same name, which is a new series of Woody Woodpecker, having animated shorts exclusively, where he is also voiced by Eric Bauza. In the 2024 live-action animated slapstick comedy movie, Woody Woodpecker Goes to Camp, which is the sequel to the 2017 movie, after getting kicked out of the forest for torturing a camper, Woody thinks he's found a forever home at Camp Woohoo, but after arriving, an escaped convict named Buzz Buzzard arrives shortly, and then poses as the rival camp's chef to rob a hidden treasure. After Woody causes chaos at the camp, and then causes chaos again by being tricked by Buzz, an inspector arrives and threatens to shut down the camp.